Hello, my name is Natasha. Thank you for joining me. I'm very happy to have you here. On this channel, we foster connection through shared experiences and deep reflective questions. Today, I'm going to share with you some more about my month's trip in Guatemala and what that gave me. My intention before I went to Guatemala was to receive what it had to give me. And in Guatemala, I found a natural rhythm. Life slowed down to a pace that felt full and easy and rich, and I felt really content there. It gave me the experience, the space to experience slowness and rest, wholeness and connection in a way that I physically felt my body respond to. Guatemala was actually brought to my attention last summer at a conscious festival. It hadn't been on my radar before that point. I have always felt a pull to go to Central and South America. And it was through talking with people at this festival, and I was just hearing more and more about Guatemala and how wonderful and beautiful it is. And that is. I booked my flights, and that happened in a really interesting way, how that came about. But I booked the flights, and then I experienced a couple of months of dropping into organization and planning to get me there. So it was a very intense couple of months. I experienced fear and anxiety. This was my first solo travel trip, going there not knowing anybody. And at several points, actually, I gave myself full permission to back out and to not go. The thing that I noticed is that I always had this deep-seated pull to go and this inner knowing that I was meant to go. But it was a really valuable experience to give myself full permission to not go. In this process of giving myself permission not to go, I was simultaneously having conversations with trusted personal friends. I've always found that using my voice and having someone trusted to mirror back to me my thoughts, my beliefs, and also to listen to other people's perspectives and opinions, knowing full well that they have their own set of experiences and beliefs and thought processes. But I really love that back and forth, that giving and receiving through conversation. And at the heart of that, it's allowing us to step into or to tune in with that connection with ourselves. And it brings a lot of clarity to me through conversation of understanding. It helps me get down deeper into the layers of how I feel and why I feel that and what thought processes are driving those feelings. I also find journaling a really useful practice and giving myself space to reflect. Tell me if you're like this. I'm very introspective. Through my work as a physio, one of the skills that you learn is reflection is really important. But of course, you need space to create. You need space to reflect and to sit in stillness, to allow things to come through you and to allow yourself to listen to those subtle nudges and communications from your body. I felt connection from the start of my trip. I was fortunate enough I could go and stay with my sister, and we just had a beautiful evening the night before my flight. There was some interesting experiences to move through, just even before getting to Guatemala. And I met people right from the get-go on my flight to Miami and on my flight to Guatemala. I met beautiful people, had conversations, connections, and just really appreciated those conversations for those moments. And people are really kind. It really, already at the first stage of my journey, I could feel myself stepping more into that Leo side of me and really valuing other people and appreciating them. And then throughout my whole month, I met many people and connected with a few on a deeper level. And again, I'll reiterate that fire that had been dimmed for quite a few years started to really show herself. And I felt a greater sense of self-love and connection to myself. And therefore, when we are able to connect deeper with ourselves, we can connect deeper with other people. And that really showed itself to me. Where do you feel connected in yourself? So when you feel a deep sense of wholeness and connection, where do you feel that in your body? That's a practice for you. Because where we feel that connection might change, or it may be a constant. And how do your personal relationships with yourself and with others make you feel? Something that became really clear to me in the last 2 years is it's not how you feel about other people, it's how those connections and relationships make you feel. And I'd like to bring our awareness to our bodies are our best friends. And my body really communicated with me how at ease I felt and how safe I felt in those connections. And I had different types of connections, and I love that. It's like we get to create unique signatures with each different connection that we have, and the different parts of ourselves that those connections show or bring out in us. So it's just a beautiful, magical month of connection and flow. And my body really responded to that. I would say probably there was a point about 2 weeks in, 10 days, 2 weeks, where I physically felt my body start to relax. Sometimes when we're in certain environments, we just get used to functioning in a certain way. And it isn't until we create or put ourselves in a different environment that we really notice the differences and the changes in our body. So I noticed and had the privilege of experiencing what my body felt like when I felt safe and in flow with life and ease. And I wasn't in my head overthinking. I was very grounded in my body, living each moment, happy to be very present. It was a really powerful month, something that is one of the best experiences I've ever had. And I'm now very passionate about creating more experiences like that. It was so rich. If you enjoyed the video, please like it, subscribe to the channel so we can stay connected, and comment in the description box a word that you associate with connection. How does connection make you feel? See you next time.